Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Rascal here, back at it again with another video. Today we're actually starting a new series on the channel. I'm trying to upload more on my YouTube, and I was thinking about different ideas on what I could do. And I thought, I'm a pretty decent Fortnite player. There's a lot of people switching around platforms and starting to play Fortnite. What if I did a series on how to get good at Fortnite? Now, I'm not saying I'm the best, but I have trained multiple people who have switched from console to PC, how to play PC, and gotten them to better than they were on console in just a few days. Now, I've done this through a method of tips and tricks that I'm going to go through with you guys in this multi-part series. So if you do enjoy, be sure to hit the like button so that it can get out to more people, so more people can see the video, and it helps support me a lot. And also hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you know when a new video goes live. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into our first video. This video is going to be based around basic building. So for all of you guys starting keyboard and mouse on Fortnite, I'm sure you are all overwhelmed by other people's building, even ones you might have used to be able to beat really easily on console. Now, this is because you're not used to PC. So the first thing I want you to do is make sure you have custom keybinds set. I'm going to link a video in the description by Jarian that he just talked about optimal keybinds. You want to set keybinds. You don't want to use scroll wheel to build. You don't want to use scroll wheel to switch through weapons. So go ahead, if you haven't already, switch your keybinds. Check out Jarian's video down below and then come back to this one so we can continue on. But for you guys who already have custom keybinds set, this is going to be a breeze. So with these tips and tricks, you should be able to get simple builds down such as ramp, floor, wall down, basic wall edits, basic ramp edits, in about an hour or so of practice to where you're actually able to do them consistently. So let's go ahead, load up Fortnite so I can show you guys what you need to be doing to learn these builds. Alright guys, now that we're in Fortnite, we're gonna go ahead, load up into our creative server. So mechanics are extremely important in Fortnite, especially when you're first starting out, so that you can actually have a chance fighting actual players. So what playing in creative does is it helps you warm up those mechanics without having to spend time in between games after you die to get into a new one. And also, you have unlimited materials, so you don't have to spend any time harvesting to practice building. So this is probably going to be the most basic video on how to get better. I'm going to be doing some more advanced ones in the future. Probably by next week there should be another one out. So if you're watching this video a week old, there should be a new one out that you guys can check out after this. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and load up into our island. What I would suggest doing is creating a new island and then just making a completely blank grid island. Once you do that, wait for the rift to load in. And there we go. Okay, so now that we're in our island, we can go ahead and fly down to the bottom. And as you can see, it already has unlimited materials filled out. You can start the game if you want. It's not required. I personally don't like to, so I can fly around with the phone if I want to. But I know some people, when they're getting used to keyboard and mouse, they seem to accidentally double tap space a lot and end up flying by accident. So the first build that you want to start off with is probably just basic ramps. Just get a feel for ramps. That's why I tell everyone I've ever trained as they're switching to keyboard and mouse, just get a basic feel of ramps and then walls. So we're going to go ahead, make sure, once again, you're using keybinds for this, because you will need keybinds to be able to do ramp, floor, wall. And then just get a feel for ramps. Building feels a lot different on different platforms, so you need to get used to them. So now, I obviously have a good idea on how ramps work, so I'm going to also start placing some walls. Just see what it feels like. You don't have to do edits or anything. Just place them around. You don't need to worry about edits yet. You can just break through them if you want to. Just get a basic feel. And then maybe try a ramp wall. And there we go. After you've built it for a little bit, you should be good to move on. I mean, you shouldn't have to build for too long. You're just getting a basic feel. Once you feel comfortable building just basic ramps and walls, you should be good to move on to your next step. So keep note of your ramp and wall keybind for this next part. What we're going to do is we're going to go into our settings, and where is it? Right here, sprint by default. Go ahead and turn that off. So now, as long as you don't trigger a sprint key, you will be walking. This is great. This is the best tip. I use this to this day to learn new builds, because when you're sprinting, it's really hard to get a feel on what builds are supposed to feel like. So go ahead and try doing ramp wall if you can, just walking. So what this does is it gives you way more reaction time to learn how to do the build, and once you start being able to do it fast and you feel confident, once you're starting to get everyone right, go ahead, go back into your settings, turn on your sprint by default. So now you'll be running, just do the same thing. You're gonna have a lot less time to react, as you will be moving about double your speed normally. But that's just the beauty of it. Once you start getting a hang of it, you'll probably fall down a couple times if you're just now learning. But once you get the hang of it, it's really easy to remember, and then you're good to move on to the next step. So by now, you should have probably been practicing for about 15 minutes to learn these, 15 minutes or so. That's not a set number, but we're gonna go ahead, head back into our settings, turn our sprint by default off. Now, just like before, we're going to be building up with ramps and walls, but we're also going to add a floor in there. So go ahead, ramp, floor, wall, ramp, floor, wall, ramp, floor, wall. You're gonna have to look up and down as you do it. You have plenty of time to do this. It's gonna feel a little overwhelming at first, but I can promise you, it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. So same sort of thing, get the feel of it, use that time. Once you're getting all of them right, it might take some of you guys longer than others. Once you start getting all of them right, maybe 1 or 2 you miss out of every 10 or so, you're good to go ahead and try toggling sprint. Now this is going to feel a lot more overwhelming than the ramp wall one did, because you're adding in a whole nother piece there. So this one, if you're just feeling way too overwhelmed for now, go ahead back into your settings and turn the sprint by default back off and practice it walking again until you feel comfortable like that. Once you feel comfortable again, just keep on attempting this. This should probably take you about 15 minutes by itself to get the hang of. Some of you guys more, some of you guys less. I've had people who have taken about maybe 5 minutes to understand it, and then others have taken about 15 or so. So yeah, just once you feel comfortable doing those, just keep on practicing for a while, and then you can move on to some other stuff. What other stuff, you might ask, though? Well, a key part of your building mechanics is not building itself, it's editing. So go ahead, leave your own island, and come back to the hub. Right here, go ahead, click on Change Destination on the portal, and then put in the map code that you see on your screen right now. You can pause if you want, just put in that code so it can go ahead and start loading in. So this is an edit course that was featured a long time ago. I believe it was season 8 when it was originally featured. And it's a multi-skill level edit course. There's a few of these out there. This one I personally like for beginners. There are some better ones for advanced editing, but for the beginners course, this is about the best you can get. So go ahead, once you're in, click Start Game. Here we go. You're going to want to go down the one path. Keep in mind what your edit key is. Hold your either index or ring finger. I suggest having your edit on an index finger, but it's up to you. And then once again, we are going to go into our settings and disable sprint by default. Once again, this gives you much more time to react, do all of the edits, and just practice these edits over and over. This gives you plenty of time to go through those simple edits. That's about 4 or 5 rounds there, I wasn't counting. And then you get all sorts of different edits. So we just gotta turn these ramps around like that. And there we go. Some simple drop down edits. More wall edits. The wall edits are probably your most important right now as a player who's just learning how to play. Unless if you have to legitimately go do something, I would be practicing with this course for about an hour or so. And there's just all sorts of different edits you can practice here, which is why I love it so much. So once you've done the island once or twice, go ahead, reset the island, and go back into your settings, and turn your sprint by default back on. Now you're going to go through that same course, but sprinting rather than walking. Your goal by the end of this is to be able to get at least the bronze rank. I suggest getting the bronze rank in one setting. The bronze rank isn't that hard to get as long as you know your edits and you have a proper sensitivity for you. So now that you're running through it, you're going to have a lot less time to do your edits, and it's going to be a lot harder. Don't feel overwhelmed. Keep on pushing through this one if possible. You can stop if you need to do an edit like that, if you're just struggling too much. But if you can just run through the whole thing, you're doing great. You should easily be able to make the bronze rank on it. So yeah, just go through the whole map once again. Instead of walking, you're not sprinting. Big difference. But it'll make improvement go much faster. So yeah, that's just a quick tutorial on learning basic builds and edits. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to hit the video with a like and let me know what videos you want to see in the future. I can do way more advanced stuff than just the basics. I can do moderate. I can even probably cover advanced builds. I'm not the best player in the world, but I have trained a lot of people to be very good. I've played in multiple tournaments and placed pretty well. I'm also almost a Champion League player with playing not too much arenas, so I'd say I'm pretty qualified to teach this course. So yeah, once again, if you want to see a Keybinds video by It's Jerry, and he's a great Fortnite coach, go ahead, link in the description, go check him out. Background music in this stream was made by Harris Heller over on Alpha Gaming. He is an amazing channel. If you guys are trying to learn how to stream as well, I would go check him out as soon as possible. He gives a ton of free resources for streamers. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time. Goodbye.